Hey Tamara, how you doing? So as you can see by the screen here, this is your Splendor Dashboard. I'll explain everything here in a minute, but first I will explain everything else. I'm sorry that came up there. I just hit the button incorrectly. So if you look here, you look where all the data is coming from. It's down here on the menu bar on the bottom. Here's all the sales credits. Sales and credits, which is all this information up here. And then this is the inventory and debits, which is all the information down here. I left a placeholder in here because there's one more chart I want to add. I just don't know what it is, and then I'll explain all this to you. But all this down here is essentially this information, or these charts. So you don't need to really worry about that, but I'll show you exactly what I did here. So if you go to this chart here, you look at, this is just fictitious data, by the way, but you look at orders, like, for instance, here's the order number, and you can sort them by any order you want. Here's the order date, the salesperson, and these are all drop downs, by the way, so if you were to click on there or somebody's manually entering this data, they would have to click on there and pick the salesperson that was responsible for that particular sale, and so on and so forth, and that's every field. And then these are just obviously dates that just you put in there, or I'm sorry, order numbers that go in chronologically, and an order date. And then anything that has this right here has a drop down, and only that data and that data only goes in there. And like I said, right now it's fictitious information, so once we get names, we can put the exact names of the individual in there and then make those adjustments accordingly. But I just wanted you to see what a filled up chart looked like. That's why I put in all this fictitious information. And then here's the payment type. You know, people are either going to pay you by cash, check, credit card, PayPal, or Venmo. And if there's other payment platforms that you take, let me know and I can add those in. Here's your product names. I just took random samples. Chanel, Yves Saint Laurent, Gucci, Fendi. And then the categories of stuff that you sell. You sell purses, jeans, dresses, blouses, etc., etc. And then, of course, I put the unit price, like each unit. Like this particular order here, somebody bought order number 190001 on the 1st of September. Your salesperson number one sold a Chanel purse, which that person paid in cash, and it was $275. And they bought one, which created $275 of revenue, and they bought it via a boutique party. So that's just all the data that's in there for the first portion. And then we go to the dashboard, and then you can see that here's the salesperson, here's the sales category, here's the units sold, here's the units sold by source, and then here's the average unit price. And I think this is all important information for you, and here's why. Salesperson, you want to see how each person's doing for you. You know, for instance, let me blow this up a little bit so you can see what we're talking about. So if you go to the first salesperson, or a salesperson, you see that each salesperson, and this is ranked from your highest grossing person to your lowest, here's what they've made for you throughout that fictitious time period. So salesperson 7 sold $40,485 worth of inventory for you. And you can even see, and that's each individual, or each individual collectively. And then by category, you see that you sold $57,320 in purses, and then shoes, and then it just goes down the list. And then units sold, you sold 320 purses. Okay? And then you sold 264 shoes. And then what else do you want to know? You want to know units sold by source. In other words, you sold 233 units, or 223 units at your boutique party. 245 were sold by women that dropped off, that just did the drop by, just the, you know, like you told me that they just kind of dropped by. And then once your store opens up, or your website, whether it be Instagram or the actual site itself, you know, we'll collect that data as well. And then if you ever have a storefront, or let me rephrase that, when you do have your storefront, you know, we'll collect that data as well, see when you sold and how many you sold. And like I said, this is just fictitious data, so as the months and the years go by, this will all auto-calculate for you. It's just a matter of putting the data in there. And then here's average unit price, and I think this is important because we did, you know, like for instance, this is just fictitious data, but let's say average unit price for jeans is $185. Your earrings are $162.36. Your dresses are $154.11. Your purses are $175.25. So if you're looking at average unit pricing, you want to say, okay, I think my average unit price is correct right now, or maybe I need to bump it up for one reason or another. You can do that. But once we get into the data analytics, I'll explain all that to you and exactly how it works. And here's another beauty of this. Let's say you wanted to look at all this data individually. Like for instance, you want to see, I know it's a little bit smaller, but once you're able to, once you get it on your screen on your Mac's a lot bigger than mine, so you can see what's going on. Let's say you want to see exactly what an individual salesperson did for you. For instance, let's just say you want to know salesperson X, you know, how did they do with my Chanel line that I just came out with, or the Chanel stuff that I'm selling. And you can go to salesperson, let's say right now you want to find out salesperson 2, you want to find out how they did with Chanel. See how everything updated? It's basically telling you that salesperson number 2, which eventually have a name, they did, let me enlarge this for us so we can see it better. So we can say that salesperson number 2 did $8,210 in sales, and from the Chanel product line they did $3,340 in purses, $2,775 in shoes, dresses, earrings, blouses, jeans, skirts, and so on and so forth. And then units, they sold 19 purses, 12 pairs of shoes, 5 dresses, 2 pairs of earrings, a blouse, a skirt, and a pair of jeans. And these are all from the Chanel line still. And then you can break it down even further. Out of all those sales, they sold 10 at the boutique party, 6 happened to drop by and they sold them for you. 2 were online sales and 1 was a storefront sale. And then, you know, your average prices. Average price of the blouse was this, and then so on and so forth. And then once you're done looking at that, you can just hit the reset button, and see how it all just goes back to all of your data. That's for the entire time period. So all this that you're seeing on this top line right here is sales and credits, which is coming from this right here, the data that's sales and credits. So that's just a breakdown of all this information here. So rather than go down this list and try to figure out exactly, you know, what happened, you know, scrolling up and down or doing filters, you know, it's a nice way to have it. And this is the way I prefer because I like to manipulate data. But for somebody that just needs an answer right away, you just go straight to your dashboard and you can tell exactly what happened. And that's the exact same thing for down here. So this is all your inventory and debits information. So basically, the inventory that you're purchasing, purchasing by your distributor, inventory by category, inventory by value, and inventory by average unit price. So you want to get an idea of how much you're paying for some of this inventory. I know you've told me that most of the stuff that you buy from Los Angeles is $49.99, and then that's something that we can add in here and go from there. But you know, once you start looking at the average price that you're selling inventory, maybe the prices have gone up, and then this will tell you exactly what the average price is. And so let's say, for instance, right now you want to find out, okay, how much inventory have I taken in from China? Well, there you go. Just tap on China, and then you hit inventory, and it tells you exactly what you've gotten from China. From China, you've spent $2,725. You've brought in 6 pairs of jeans, 3 blouses, 2 pairs of shoes, 2 necklaces, and 1 set of earrings. Or, you know, valued at $1,500 for the pairs of jeans, $675 for the 3 blouses, $250 for the 2 pairs of earrings, $250 for the 2 pairs of shoes, and $50 for the 2 pairs of necklaces, or the 2 necklaces that you brought in. And then here's the average price that you paid for them. So like I said, once we get into data analytics, this will make a little bit more sense to you, but this is the stuff that I'll manage for you and look at and let you know, hey, you're paying too much for this, or, you know, we can look at sourcing with somebody else and so on and so forth. And then you just hit the reset button and all your data is back to normal. So you can just play with this as much as you want and look at, you know, data that's important to you on a day by day, month by month, year by year basis. And like I said, right now we've just put in fictitious data. So once you start putting real data in here, this dashboard will automatically update, and then you'll start seeing that information. So right now we can hypothetically erase all of this, and then your dashboard would just be, it would just have the titles on them. It will just have sales by salesperson, sales by category, units sold, and so on and so forth. Same with this row right here. But like I said, I wanted to put in fictitious data so you see exactly what it looks like, how it's manipulated, and what it does. Okay, so this is it. This is pretty much everything that's in there. Like I said, these two tabs are the tabs that hold all the data. So if you, let's say you have a boutique party and you want to update all your sales, you can have somebody like Kimmy or somebody, you know, just go through each receipt that you have, and then just this will auto-populate, and then they'll just say, okay, we had a boutique party on this date. Kimmy, being salesperson one, sold it. She took cash for a Chanel purse that was sold for $275. The person just bought one, which created $275 of revenue, and she bought it at the boutique party. And then order number 2, same date, salesperson 2, maybe I don't know, whoever you have as a salesperson, they took a check for a Yves Saint Laurent pair of jeans that were $250. They bought one. They took in $250 via the boutique party. So that's essentially what you would do here. And then on this one, you would say the same thing. Then here I went for, like, you know, random data throughout the year. On the 1st of January, I got inventory from my New York City distributor. I paid cash. He got me some Chanel purses. I paid $275, and I only needed one. And this is how much I paid him, and I added it to inventory. All right, and then the next one, same thing. On the 1st of February, I got a hold of Danny in China. I paid via check. I ordered some Yves Saint Laurent jeans, and I ordered one pair at $250. And obviously my account was debited $250, and it was added to inventory, and so on and so forth. And then you see here, this is like services. So if you paid for a service or payroll, like you know, some of the services that you'll pay for with myself and with Jamie, you know, so you can keep track of all of that. So here, in the meantime, I'm putting NA or NAT applicable. So I'll go to the dashboard and show you that. So if you look at the dashboard, you see an NA on this first board here. That'll basically tell you that this NA, that $3,010 were debited your Soul Splendor account, and they were for items other than inventory. And we can work in a name, or we can change the name for that if you want, but for now I just left it like that, just so we wouldn't have a bunch of names and a bunch of charts, just adding data to that. So this is pretty much it. I'll send you this video so you can see it, and you can have it for your reference, and then I'll send you the this actual document right here, which is the Excel sheet. And it's ready to go, and I added some of your colors, and you know, this is just first iteration, so you tell me what you want to change, what you like, don't like, and then I can make the changes. But for now, this is what it looks like. And apologies for it taking so long, but I just wanted to beautify it and make it as nice for you as possible, so you can really see what it looks like. This to put together usually just takes me a couple of hours, but it took me a lot longer than that to beautify it, just to kind of get an idea of what you like and what you might want it to reflect based on your business and you know, your liking. So once you see it on your Big Mac, on your Mac computer, this is going to look a lot more, you know, it's going to look beautiful and clear and cleaner and crisper because you happen to have a bigger monitor than I do. So you won't have to resize or anything. You'll just look at it and be like, wow, here's all my data, and it's just going to be a beautiful dashboard. So let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to hearing from you, and we'll go from there. Talk to you later. Bye.